Hello, Tubies, my love. This is Karen with Sleeve Me K Lindsay. I'm probably going to change that. I've been thinking about from sleeved to GB K Lindsay. Anyway, this is my 3 week update. Today is Friday, the October 19th. Wednesday, this past Wednesday, made 3 weeks post-op revision from the gastric sleeve to the gastric bypass, and just wanted to give you guys an update. Um, I'm overall doing pretty good. I'm about 20 pounds down from surgery. So I'm at 250 now. And I just wanted to give you all an update. I think when I did my initial post, I was about 5 days post-op. And my goal is to try to post every week, no more than every 2 weeks. So in keeping with that theme, here we go. Um, the last 2 weeks have been a challenge because I didn't realize how different it is going from the sleeve to the gastric bypass. Not necessarily different in a bad way, but a challenge in that with a sleeve, it seems like you have just a little bit more flexibility. You're still very limited on what you can eat and how much you can eat. But gastric bypass is like that on steroids, right? So you take a bite. I'm just now getting to where I've started to incorporate small chunks of meat. I've had chicken. Oh my gosh, just it was like the best thing ever. And of course, it wasn't enough to even make a true meal compared to what I used to eat. Um, I think I was eating a part of a thigh, and um, my kids laughed at me and they were like, "Are you really done?" And I truly was, and I was very satisfied. So my feel point is faster than with the sleeve, definitely. I'm able to get in a little bit more water and fluids, whereas I was really struggling with that before, and I was very concerned about becoming dehydrated. So now I am sipping on water. I've added some 0 calorie, no sugar added type flavoring that my doctor's office has approved. And so when I'm struggling to get it in, excuse me, I just got a text, sorry. When I'm struggling to get it in, what I do is add just a couple of drops of that, just enough to change kind of the flavor of the water, not enough to really have it overwhelming because I find that things that I used to love now are way too sweet for me. But just a couple of drops, enough to change the color and a little bit of the taste, seems to help me digest it better. Um, let's talk about dumping. OMG. So when I did my 5 day post-op video, I had not experienced dumping. I've heard about it, I've heard all the bad things that can happen, and I was trying really hard not to do those things. Well, so anybody that knows me knows that Mexican food is my vice, right? Like salsa, chips, and queso, I could live on that stuff. I mean, I could truly live on that stuff. Although I wasn't trying to live on it, I figured I was eating broccoli and cheese, and I thought, I'm going to take a tortilla chip and just dip it and see. And oh my God, if I tell you the dumping syndrome was so real, like this shit is real, folks. Like, so it started with cramping, almost like a menstrual cramp, but a little bit more severe than that. And I thought, okay, so maybe I ate too much, maybe I chewed too fast, and I'm taking like little bitty rat bites, right? What I'm assuming a rat bite would be, right? Because they're small, I think. So I took just a little bitty bite of that, but I did complete 2 tortilla chips. So I started off with the cramping in my stomach, and I was like, ooh, this is uncomfortable. Okay, I'm just gonna lay here and see if it'll pass. It escalated, and the pain in my stomach became so severe that I thought, okay, so I still wasn't ready to accept in my head that I was actually going through dumping, right? In my head, I'm just thinking, okay, maybe you tried to introduce that chip too soon because you're just now into solid things and not even full solids. I was like into mushy foods. So I thought maybe that's what it was. Until I started getting sweats and chills. I felt so nauseous, so sick to my stomach, so I don't even really know how to explain it. It was as if I was almost having an out of body experience. And and I didn't even know to associate it with the tortilla chip at first until at work one day I tried on my diet plan it had hummus. I was in a phase where I could have hummus and guacamole and things like that. So I thought, okay, we're gonna try this chip thing again. Oh, let me wrap up the first part. So with the dumping, it lasted about, oh my gosh, maybe 3 hours or so. Um, got up in the middle of the morning at 3:30, walking up and down the hallway, um, outside of my apartment. It's kind of an indoor unit. Outside of my apartment, I walked up and down the hallway, my husband and I, until about 4 o'clock because I didn't know what else to do. Like, you can't take Tums, you can't take any of that stuff. And even if you did, none of that stuff would really help anyway. I did take two of the antacid prescriptions that my doctor gave me. One was like a Reglan, and the other one was like a Pepsid generic. And so I took those, and after about an hour of walking, um, and again, this was about 3 or 4 hours in from this whole feeling like I needed to throw up, and I finally did. And it was so weird because it wasn't like, and for you squeamish folks, you might want to just pause or stop now because I'm about to get very graphic because there are those out there that are going to be new to this, and I want to be as real as I can be. So in saying that, I want to be as descriptive as I can be. But it wasn't like, okay, you've been warned, here we go. It wasn't like regular vomit. Like, it didn't even have the smell of vomit. It was like, it was almost something out of a scary movie where I was like, ugh, and it was just like a bunch of fluid and liquid. And I was like, where the hell did all this shit come from? Because I've not even been able to get that much fluid in, kind of thing. But it was like nonstop, almost blood curdling, nausea and vomiting. So after walking for about 45 minutes to an hour and dealing with it for a while, it finally subsided. But it was a very yucky feeling. Now fast forward to when I told you I was trying the hummus at work and the chip. It was the same thing. I immediately started to get stomach cramps. And again, only about two chips. Like, I didn't try to eat a platter full like I would have before surgery. Just enough to give me the taste. And I was like, well, hummus, I'm not going to spoon it out, right? Hummus is for dipping. So I just wanted a little bit. So I broke off a little piece and I would eat it very slowly, chew very well. So it wasn't even about the chunks. I was very cautious because I didn't know what set me off the first time with the dumping. Needless to say, I mean, I had gotten so, and you see my skin complexion, right? I'm a pretty dark sister, right? I'm chocolate. My skin had gotten so pale because I felt so nauseous and sick to my stomach. So needless to say, tortilla chips are not my friend. I'm like done. And for me to say I'm done is like almost like a divorce. But I'm ready to sign the papers, boo. Because what we're not going to do is go through this tortilla chip dumping thing again. Not worth it for the kid. But other than that, I've been doing pretty good. Still not where I need to be with my protein or my water. I have found an alternative though, and I try not to because I don't know what the caloric intake is. I don't want to become addicted to these, but they do help some, and that is the Gladiator smoothie from Smoothie King, which has added protein in it. And I usually get, and I got this from somebody in one of my GB forums that was talking about how she substitutes and tries to get in some of her protein. And so I get it with strawberries and half a banana. Because I'm afraid a full banana might just send me into overload because I'm not even really eating bananas like that yet. I haven't tried to eat a banana since surgery because I just heard those are high in sugar, number one, even though it's a natural sugar, and that they're very dense, so then hard to digest. And so I've not tried to eat them, but I have had them in my smoothie. And I asked the guy at the register how just you know how much protein is in your drinks in the Gladiator, and he said about 45 grams. So I get the vanilla protein mix with strawberry and half a banana, and it's just enough flavoring and just thick enough to where I digest it and I seem to tolerate it really, really well. So on days that I'm struggling to get in protein, I used to be able to drink Premier protein like it was going out of style, but post bypass, not so much. And it's not that they taste bad because I think they're awesome. I'm not the cookies and cream didn't do me well, but the peaches, the banana and cream, the strawberry, the chocolate, the vanilla, those things are all good to me. But for some reason, I just cannot get down a full carton of Premier protein anymore. I can do about half, and then it's like, whoa. And I think it's just I think it's partially because my stomach is small. It's so small now. Um, I know this video is already running long, so I won't say a whole lot, but I promise to bring you along on my journey because I need the accountability and I need to actually talk this out. And I'm hoping by doing that, because I know when I was researching and going through the process, hearing others do that helped me tremendously. Now, I will say this, everybody's journey is different. I don't care if we go to the exact same doctor, have the exact same procedures. Our bodies, our makeup, our chemistry, our everything is different. So your journey is going to be your journey. However, I do believe there's a lot to be said in hearing someone actually speak about a journey that's very similar to yours, because I thought when I was experiencing things as a sleeved patient, let's take it back even further than that. When I was a band patient, a lap band patient, I really felt like such a failure. I felt like I'm not losing hardly any weight on this lap band thing. I'm having, excruciating stomach pain, but I'm embarrassed to say anything because who wants to go to a new doctor and for a second opinion and say, yeah, I have the band, and I'm damn near 300 pounds. So I held all of that. And it wasn't until I started to reach out to YouTube and just one day on a whim, I thought, let me just type this in and see if anything comes back. And oh my God, it was unbelievable at the amount of stories out there that sounded so much like a narrative to my story that it made me realize you do need to seek a second opinion. You're not totally crazy, right? So there is something that's going on. And I'm glad I did because I posted in another video about the lap band experience and all of that. So feel free to go back and look at that. But they ended up having to remove a part of my stomach and couldn't progress to the sleeve until 3 months after because my lap band had corroded so much into my stomach that they had to actually cut out a chunk of it to remove the port. So, I mean, there's some serious stuff that goes on in this weight loss thing. And to those people who keep saying you took the easy way out by having weight loss surgery, I have one simple message for you, and that is go straight to hell. I don't know anybody who would consider this type of thing the easy way out. If I tell you this thing, this tool forces you to get into action, it forces you to get your shit together. It ain't nothing easy about getting your shit together than you not having another choice, right? So it's definitely not easy. I've not seen not one easy thing about it at all. It is mentally taxing. It is physically taxing. It is emotionally draining. But in the end, I did this for me. As a matter of fact, my husband didn't even want me to have surgery because he loved me just the way he is. He's so sweet. I love him. But that's what he's supposed to say, right? I did this for me. I am young and I'm taking 3 different blood pressure medications. And that includes one of my fluid pills. I mean, and cholesterol medications. And I have a grandson and a granddaughter and I want to be here for them. And I want to experience more out of life. And so it's not the easy way out. It was a very informed decision. Um, Easy to me would be that you can continue all of your behaviors before and still get the results. So this is more of a disciplined mechanism for me. And so if you don't like it, click off, right? Yes, I'd like for you to love my videos, subscribe, comment, tell all your friends, but I'm not willing to hear the naysayers. Now, if you have an opinion about something, freedom of speech, I welcome that. I'm constructive criticism, I'm all for that. But if you are one of those like Tammy from Basketball Wives who say this is the easy way out, I would say do your research, boo. There is nothing easy about this process. Those that don't understand it or that are ill-informed, make comments like that. Know before you say. Anyway, I will give you an update later on. I'll come back to you probably at my 5th week update. I'm going to try to embed photos. Last time it was a flop. Like I couldn't insert anything because I'm new to this. But I will figure it out, I promise you. And I'll show you body shots to show you where I started at 315 to where I've gone and where I am now at 250. So just stay tuned for that. I'd love to hear from you if you like this type of information or if you want to hear something. Look, I will be an open book. I'll be as open and honest as you all can handle. I promise you. But leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you'd like to hear. Let me know if you have any Q&As that are questions that you'd like me to do a Q&A on, because we're in this thing together. And it brings me joy and, again, accountability to be able to just talk to somebody out there. So until next time, loves, if you like the content of this video or like my curly hair, whatever, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, smooches.